So my phone takes a little bit of time. Oh, what's going on? Right, there we go. Hi, welcome to Ocean Yummy's channel. So today I've got So Amma, and this is still talking about the Stockholm Barge, but I'm going to let Amma talk about her experience coming from Suriname to the Netherlands. So, um, yeah. So, hi, So Amma.
Hey sis, much love, much love. To everybody who's going to be watching this video. Thank you for inviting me over on your platform and giving me the chance to share my side of the story. I don't know if you want to make let me. Do you want me to start right away or?
Yeah. Start right away. Start right
I
away.
thought you
Dive
was
in,
going to
dive
give a
in.
little bit of introduction of what. Okay, so yeah, this is about migrating, or how you say, yeah, is it migrating to another country? Um, there's
Yeah,
a lot,
yeah,
right?
yes, migrating. Yeah,
Because there's a lot, we hear people talking about people or immigrants, and that how they feel about it. I'm gonna give you my side of the story, and why sometimes I feel like people need to just look into things more before they start running their mouth about, you know, immigrants or migrants. Um, my family, I was born in Suriname, of course, in South America. My family lived there. Um, when Suriname became independent from the Dutch, because it was a Dutch colony. In 1975, they became independent. Then my family decided to move to the Netherlands. I was 3 years old when I first moved with my parents and my siblings to the Netherlands. And then when I was, I think, 7 years old, we me, my mom, and one sibling moved back to Suriname. When I was 22, I came back to the Netherlands, and I've been here ever since. Um, the reason why I decided to move to the Netherlands is because all my siblings stayed here, um, and I was the only one with my other sister back in Suriname. But my sister had already moved out of the house. I was the only one in the house. So I was like, you know what? Let me just join my other siblings in the Netherlands. And that's what I did. Now, the fact that I have family over here didn't make it easy or easier. Because, people who move to another country, especially if they're like, how do you say that? The you're not used to another country, or you're what's the word? Oh shoot, asylum seekers.
yeah, yeah. Asylum seekers.
Yeah, I wasn't that. Even though I didn't have a Dutch passport yet, but the fact that Suriname was once a colony of the Dutch, I had an option to get my Dutch passport back. And that's what I did. Within 2 months, I had my Dutch passport. I was a Dutch citizen, but I had to give up my Suriname passport. I can get it back now, and I'm working on it, by the way. So I have double nation. I can get double nationality.
Yeah,
Um,
dual nationality. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I said double, but yeah. So yeah, but within 2 months, I had my passport, so I applied for. My intention was to finish training school, but I didn't. Um, instead I just got a job, got my own apartment after things. I think 6 months, but it wasn't easy because when you I was young, didn't have no children, so I had to live with family.
Mm.
They know how that goes. After 1 month or 2 months, they're sick of you. You're sick of them. you know. So
Mm.
um it wasn't that all that glorious as people think. Now for me, I had it, I wouldn't say easy, but if I compare myself with asylum seekers, that's a whole nother different story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah.
because some have to flee their country because of war, or persecution or political reasons.
Mm.
And then for them it's different, it's a whole different story, because they have to endure other things,
Mm-hmm.
as far as getting work, or even housing, or you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh,
clothing, food. Hmm.
yeah. 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 And also, I want you to let them know that how right, you can't just get a place just like that, because they seem to think in their head as soon as you step on the land or the place
Hmm.
or the country that you get a place straight away. It doesn't go like that. So, like, yeah, can you explain that part too?
Oh, yeah, of course. There was, I think, after I got my child, that's where I could finally appeal for, a little apartment for me and my baby.
Mm.
Um, Before that, I had to just live with family, or just rent undercover. You know how to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Rent,
Like, like share with
yeah,
other people in it. With
yeah.
like,
Or rent a
mm,
room, but then it's not registered, so you got to pay underhands and all that. You know what
mm,
I mean? So
mm,
that's
yeah,
all. I had to do all of that. But once I had my baby girl, I had a reason on and I had a job, so because you gotta be able to pay for it. So yeah, that's where I even though I had my passport, it was still a struggle to find
mm,
housing. You know, hmm it's not
mm,
it's not that easy. And
yeah,
even for the asylum seekers, or the refugees,
yeah,
they have to, even if they're not a refugee, right, let's say they
mm,
come, they want to reunite with family, and they
mm,
move to the Netherlands. There's still a lot you have to do before you become accepted, or a citizen. You have to
mm,
start learning the language.
mm,
You have to follow classes, because a
mhm,
lot of Turkish, I even volunteered, when I um, didn't have a job yet. I even volunteered to teach Turkish women how to ride a bike, and
mhm,
to speak Dutch
mhm,
and write in Dutch, or just little sentences like, how
mhm,
much is this, or when they go to the store, they gotta know to speak Dutch.
mhm,
Um, so there's a whole program that's set up, at least over here in the Netherlands, on where like, if you don't pass, you don't get the citizenship. Period.
mhm.
Yep.
See,
Yep. Mhm.
and then and then obviously, so that obviously means that whatever country you sit in, like, because like they're saying, because like when people is round their own cultural people, that they shouldn't keep their language and still be able to talk English. Though some don't want to talk English for whatever reason that is, but there's others who talk the dialect that the country that they're in. So I mean, I think I don't know where I'm heading, but yeah, but that's I mean, because over here, there, right. For instance, there's a whole Hindu, Sikh, no Hindu, and what's it Urdu speaking uh area, right? And they continue their tradition. Some of them can't talk not a lot of English. Sometimes they need their children to translate. It's the same as the Somalians, I would think as well, and other dialects that is not of English status. So people's getting a bee in their bonnet over here because they're saying that how they're not talking English. But I do believe the reason why they keep the tongue is the mother tongue is so that when they touch down back in the country, they can what you call it, still integrate or be part of the country. And I feel that how people shouldn't you know what I mean, force their force, oh, you must learn English because some, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like how like you taught them women Dutch, like so that at least like they can say a couple words wherever they at or whatever. But some don't learn it. But I don't know. I must be heading somewhere else, I guess. But I guess
No,
you kind of get what I'm saying.
yeah, I get it. 'Cause look, for me, it was easy because in Suriname, the main language spoken is Dutch. So for
Mhm.
me, it was no problem speaking Dutch arriving here. But
Mhm.
you can imagine if it's a Turkish, or if it's a Turk or a Moroccan or Syria, they don't know the language,
Mhm.
So um, it's their environment or the neighborhood they live in. If they interact, cause and that's another thing, they stick to themselves.
Mhm.
They have to come out of that, like um,
Yeah.
Turkish people. I've lived among. I still live amongst them, but now I live in a different neighborhood now. But where I used to live before was all Turk.
Mm.
Um, and the women are friendly. They come over or they have you. They invite you in their home. They cook. They show you how to cook, how they prepare things in the kitchen, and so it's different. And then by interacting
Mm.
with me,
Mhm.
um, they learn the language also,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they learn it from their children because their children go to school,
Yeah.
right? But I noticed that even though they interact with colored people like me, they
Mm.
don't interact as much with the Dutch people.
Mm.
So it's more, how do you say that? Yeah, they stick together, even though they
Mm.
interact with other cultures, but not so much with the Dutch. Was
Mm.
to this day, some have been living here for like 30, 40 years.
Mm.
They still refuse to speak. They know how to speak Dutch and they understand it, but they
Mm.
still interact with their own kind and they
Mm.
speak their own language when they're together. They don't
Mm.
speak Dutch.
Mm.
Yep. And it's the same with people from Indonesia. Now those are different, and I'm not gonna lie. And even the Hindustani, they
Mhm.
they will continue speaking Dutch because
Mm.
they speak Dutch in Suriname. Because most
Mhm.
Hindustani people, like they're from where you are from, but
Mm.
also a lot live in Suriname too. You know,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
they speak Dutch and Suriname.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
But and in the people from Indonesia also, there's a lot of them in Suriname too, because they were contract workers
Mm.
brought to from India and from Indonesia to Suriname
Mhm.
after slavery. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of them living there. So when they're over here, um, they speak Dutch,
Mm.
but so there's a big difference. I don't know why there's a big difference uh,
Mhm.
between those people and Turkish and Moroccan people who
Mm.
still, have problems openly speaking Dutch. Let me say it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I get it still because it's the same with the Somalians. When I was around the Somalians for a bit, the Somalians, though they carry their culture all the way with them, like even when they're in work, they like, being that because like majority of them are Muslim and but the good thing but the good thing what I see with them is like it's like they're willing to interact with every nation. They're not just like, I think because of the work as well as whatever they're doing. So um so like you see several sides to them. Like before, right, they were saying, oh yeah, they're oppressed. They oppress people. They're trying to put this thing on us, or this and that. Sometimes, right, they're not even selling Islam to you. Sometimes they're busy. They're so busy doing the job what they're doing, right? They're not even thinking about that, and they're just doing their day to day life. You know what I'm saying? But people don't, because people don't want to openly interact with. Go on then. Oh, Lordy.
It's okay.
Yeah. So basically, so you know what I mean? It's like it's what I mean. So that's why you explaining that because they keep together because they're trying to keep that culture still rich, rich culture because you know what I mean the way they do things like I mean that's what I get from different people from different cultures. They just want to keep their culture pure and that's it. And there's nothing wrong in that. It's just when people be telling lies on certain migrants. Yes, some migrants are scamish and whatever else, but yeah. Sorry, I'm going on now. I'm going on.
No, you're
Oh, my
okay. You're okay. Mm,
my
but
my
but what
so
but what have you experienced with? Because let me ask you, because you wanted to talk about the Stockholm Barge, right? So, what is your experience, or what do you see over there in the UK, as far as that ship or the,
mm,
this?
well, to me, the ship is not fitting. It's very unfit for, I would say, people to live in because, like, if you're gonna be on a ship for how long? Because they said they was gonna send it to some part of Hawaii, but um, to me, it's gonna like if loads of people is on there, like anything can happen. Um, we hear us sinking ships and stuff like that and you know what I mean there's been a numbers of it and I feel they're taking risk not only that according to one of the subs the asbestos and different things can be found on it. Plus they had the disease thing fair enough right they saw it the legionnaires disease thing now but it can come up again. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking of everything, and um, and I feel like they're looking at the cost, but nobody told them to put them on the barge. Nobody told them to put them in hotels. Like there's probably another way, but you know, even when they put them in the military base, that's fair enough. But that sounds more like a POW camp to me. But that's just my personal opinion on it. But yeah.
Because I just saw, I pulled it up. It said last August, 500 people arrived on the Stockholm bars in, I think it was in the UK.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. They started to put them on, right, and then they had to take them off because of the Legionnaires' disease. You see,
Mm.
and people there is people protesting against it, but there is anti-migrants also against the migrants in certain parts of I don't know whether it's in UK, but I think there's another place they were saying they're anti-migrants and stuff and I think there is a little bit of violence going on, but I'm gonna look into that anyway when I get around to it. But yeah, so it's like uh, to me, I feel they're gonna overfill it. You know what I mean? Because there's a case of that. They can overfill it. Then it's gonna have women, children. Well, you don't know who you're on the barge with as well. Um, they said there's gonna be doctors. I don't even know. Maybe who knows? So yeah, that's how I'm looking at it from that point of view in certain aspects. But yeah,
Okay, okay. I'm trying to
yeah,
I'm trying to find where in the Netherlands it has been, but I can't seem to.
yeah. That's what I was trying to find that part. I was trying to find the list. The list I was trying to find first of all,
Hmm.
right, the places that he was gonna go or been or wherever, and then yeah. Yeah, so I think like if you see the part which part of the Netherlands exactly is been, then it'd be interesting to find to get a look on it a little bit more.
Mm.
Because yeah, because it's like they're not thinking at this moment. It's kind of inhumane. Like it's like putting people in a cage. And to me, I mean, I know they keep saying is no, it's not a prison ship. Yes, it is a prison ship. Anyhow you look at it, it's a prison ship. So hmm.
Yeah, I see here I think a man from Sudan, he says, I'd rather be homeless than be in that place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And a Nigerian nearly on he did the post that I put up or the video on it was a Nigerian that on a nearly on a live themselves um that time when I put up the post. I can't remember when I did the video that they said that yeah, it was a Nigerian. He had enough. He didn't like go. He didn't want to be in that. He didn't want to go to the barge. He didn't want to go to it, and he decided to unalive himself. Luckily, they cut him down from the tree. They caught him, but
Hmm.
there's others. There's a young lady. They told them like 10 minutes or an hour, less than an hour, that they need to come out the hotel and go to the barge.
Hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it's very crazy. It's very but I also think it's to see what happens. I mean, I know like me and my other friend spoke about this as well, and she was saying that they're trying to put people off from coming here. I mean,
Hmm.
I hear all that. Yes, I hear all that, but some actually do actually work in the country. They actually do want to work in the country, even if they send money to their homeland. Uh, it's I don't see. Words escape me right now at this present moment.
Hmm. Yeah, I think for some people, this is a sensitive topic because it's like, I don't know, maybe because of the censoring or whatever, but some people just come out freely and say they're against immigrants. I'm like, why? What? Is it your country? Wait a minute. Did you establish? You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because they
mm,
feel like if people come into their country and let's say you're without a job, right? And then
mm.
you hear, oh, this month 500 immigrants has been,
Yeah,
you know, and then
yeah.
they get a job, they get housing, and I, in a way, I understand
Mm,
their opinion or their feelings about, like, like, damn, I've been looking for a job and for months and months, and then here they come and they get a job or they get
mm,
housing, and
mm.
I'm living with in the basement of my grandma. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I get it in a way, but I don't know. It's the how do you say that?
It's
It's
it's the hate behind it. Because even one like I mean, I was trying to find that video where the woman was talking about her son being homeless, and her thing was that how they're putting them before us. She kept saying them. I was like, who is them?
mm-mm,
Who is
right,
them?
right,
They're people. They're people.
yeah.
And and I mean, fair enough, right? There's, I mean, on top of that, there is an inflation. UK has left the EU, right? So normally, what probably would have been happening, right? The person probably would have got a house, in a hostel or something, or whatever. But I think there's even problems with that. I reckon there's something wrong with some system over here. I'm not sure because I haven't looked that deep, but but then later on, when the host said to her, "Well, why don't you put your son up?" and she just was like lost for words. So um, yeah, and I feel it's the old saying, "Oh, well, they're coming to take our jobs and all this and that and that and that and that." But um, but once again, I've been in a classroom with a whole lot of
Mm-hmm.
different people from different places. All they want to do is work. They
Yeah.
just want to work. They don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do nothing else. They don't want to take your money. They don't want to. I mean, obviously, right? You have to be comfortable to a certain extent. Some of them ain't even living in really good housing situations, but it's like, oh yeah, they're coming to take our this and that. And you can't think like that all the time, you
Yeah.
know.
And it's like people are repeat, or how do you say that they're on repeat? They just say what other people say. Oh, they're coming to
Yeah,
take her. Of course, they heard somebody say it. Now they're going to say that too.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? You don't even know if it's true. You don't
yeah,
know what these people been through. Especially like if for me, if it's a mom with children, you
mm,
know, I already want to help, like, with clothes
mm,
or whatever, or you know what I mean. So
mm.
I feel people need to be more aware, or because at the end of the day, we're all human.
True. And
It's,
that's and
it's
that's
oh
oh sorry, and that's the part that gets lost. That's the
yes,
part.
yes. Yeah, but man, if it's babies, children, yeah, yeah, what I mean. So
Mm.
um we all gotta just be mindful of, because if the shoe was on the other,
Yes.
then you would want people to help you, right?
Yes.
So why
True.
is it so difficult to,
Mm.
don't jump on the bandwagon, and just because everybody's saying like, yeah, they're taking our jobs, and I can't even get an apartment, and now
Mm.
they're here, and they get everything free. Yeah, they get it, but after a while they're gonna have to work too, and earn their own.
Yeah. Yeah, to pay it back. To pay it back. I mean, I mean, it's the same thing when you're sitting on the welfare state, right?
Yeah.
Right? You start to work. It's just well, the welfare state and I would say university. I'll throw in them two things because, right, as soon as you come out of it, you got to pay them back some of
Mm,
the money. You got to pay back the money. You got to pay back the grant. And there is a lot of people from different countries who when they finish doing all the what you call it all the courses or the university all this they have to pay it back, you
mm,
know. So I don't know, it's just I'm just thinking please, like, just keep in mind people are people the same, like just because like you're not in that situation doesn't mean to say it's not going to happen to you or
yep.
whatever. You never know. Right, you have to think like outside the box in a kind of a way, and the people just don't understand it. So that's why when I saw when I think no, actually, when Alex said about the Stockholm barge, when I went and looked at it and I see what it was, and I see there's a history behind it and all that, I said, oh, and then I just thought, oh my gosh. And then I started looking a bit more. I see the disease. I was like, wow. Then they said asbestos. Not it's not the asbestos thing. Something to do with asbestos or something was wrong with it. I'm like, oh my days. It's like, and you're gonna put people on a thing that's got what
It's
they call it,
contaminated.
those storage things. You know them storage things. It's storage things that they formed into a ship. That's
Yes,
what they did.
the containers. I just the other day watched a movie. I forgot the title, where people were fleeing from a country,
Hmm.
um, and then a woman ended up in one of those containers, but like
Hmm.
with a bunch of other pregnant. She was pregnant with a bunch
Hmm.
of pregnant women in the container. Was
Mm,
the driver promised them he was going to bring them whatever, to
mm,
safety, and then he sold out. The military stopped the whole truck, and they
mm,
killed. She climbed on because it was filled with crates, like he was pretending to, transport shit,
mm, mm,
like headphones or whatever, earphones, earbuds. She
mm,
climbed. For her luck, she climbed on one of the, on the top, on
mm,
one of the crates, and when they had the driver open up the back of the truck, they started shooting. They killed all the women and the children,
mm,
and then he closed it, and they told the driver to drive away. He came to where the at the dock where all the containers are. They loaded it onto a ship.
mm,
She woke up. there was a storm at sea. The container fell out. The ship sank. Her container started floating with her in it.
mm,
For she
mm,
stayed in there for like I think 7 days,
mm,
and it's a true story. And she got the
mm,
baby because it started leaking because they shot up the container, right, so it was full of holes, so it started
mm,
leaking. She got the
mm,
baby. She delivered the baby by her. Man, I cried so hard. It's on Netflix too.
mm,
I'm not promoting Netflix, but I forgot the title of the movie. But it's they it has subtitles, but they speak Spanish, But
mm,
it made me. I'm like, damn, she survived. She survived it because it was a storm. It started sinking to the whole container with her in it.
mm,
Um, and then she put the baby on one of the crates,
mm,
and it started floating, but she drowned. And then
mm,
the English couple from the UK was in a boat fishing, and they saw something on the water, and they heard a
mm,
baby cry. They're like, what?
mm,
So they got closer and they saw the baby. They pulled it up, but she was smart enough to tie herself to the little raft of the baby,
mm,
even though she drowned. So they like when they pulled the baby up, they saw a rope. They're like, what?
mm.
And then they started pulling the rope and they pulled her up.
Yeah.
And then they gave her mouth to mouth and she came. I'm like, wow. This is
Yeah.
yeah. So you see the things people go through just to get to safety, like
Mm,
flee from their country. I don't know what was happening, or war or persecution, political. I don't know, but I'm like, damn.
yeah. 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 They go through a lot. They go through a lot. Even there was one on Netflix again. Netflix. They just bring up some subject matter over, and I'll be like, wow.
Yes.
Um. Um. It was a trafficking thing, and and then like they showed there's two actually, one from Nigeria, and they showed them getting the trafficking, and they showed them getting into certain places to show how they get through the boundaries of certain places, how they get in and out, and all this, and how they get onto, like you said, the crates again. Once again, the crate comes into play, and it's like, and you're just like, wow. And the women go through hell, and it's like, I think there's even that horror one with the two families where they were a family, a guy where they put him in in London, some part of London, and they go through the when they go through, check their passports, all that stuff. They ask them, why you want to come to England and all this. They put him in a place, and the wife wasn't happy, and
Mm,
I think there was something wrong with the house, but they made it like into horror as well. But there are so many on Netflix. There's so many. I think so many on Netflix now. I'm surprised I'm not traumatized, to be
right.
honest.
Remind me, sis, because where I live, there's a okay. I used to live there, but I moved closer to. Anyhow, it's now, let's say, 4 or 5 blocks away from me. It's a park where they
Mm,
put up white tents for the refugees from
mm,
So next time I go to the hospital, I have to pass there. So if I see the white tents, I'ma
mm.
stop and go and try to interview one of the people.
Yeah, yes, yes, do that, because
Yeah,
it's better when you hear it from the horse's mouth.
yep. Because they've been doing it. Because I know and it's not the first. My bad. It's not the first time that they house refugees in the park. Big
Mm,
white tents for
mm,
months and months, and even my whole neighborhood was complaining at one point. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago when they
mm,
started doing it. Um,
mm,
cause what was it again? I forgot which country it was, but cause every all the immigrants, or how do you say that, or the migrants, not all of them are genuine, or what you call, or honest. Of course, there was a couple of boys that started robbing people in my neighborhood, and they blamed it
mm,
on the immigrants. So they wanted the tents gone, and you know,
Hmm.
uh, it was a whole thing. Um, the crime rate, went up when they started putting people in the park.
Hmm.
So I wonder, but yeah, I haven't been watching TV or following the news, so I don't know how it is now. But I think that because the from the Ukraine, yeah, I think that they're still putting people in the park in the white tents. So it's like big
Yeah.
circus tents, but white. I'm like, damn, what is So yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, cause certain parts of London they were staying in the parks, and now what they're doing, they're blocking off the parks so they can't go into the parks no more to sleep in the park. Me and my daughter came into I think a couple times I've come into a situation seeing that, so I know what you're talking about on that level. I've seen that for myself.
Yeah, but
Oh, that's
they didn't. The immigrants or the refugees didn't go to the park by themselves. The government put the tents for them there, and they barricaded, like those steel fences,
yeah.
so nobody could enter it because there was living people living in the park now. When it used to,
Oh,
because it's a big park with all kinds of basketball fields, and it's big. So people was
oh,
pissed off because like every this month there's
mm,
always a circus around this
mm,
time in the park, and then or in the summer there's a big fair, with the Ferris wheel and all that. So people was pissed because all of that had to be canceled just because
mm,
the government decided to put the refugees in the park in tents.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Hmm.
Wow, I
Yeah.
tell you,
But
it's crazy, isn't it?
if I see the tents again, I'm gonna go next week. I'm gonna take just ride my bike and just go there and see if it's there. I'm gonna ask permission and
Mm.
see if I can interview them.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right, cause that's needed. You see, cause I feel people need to get the realness of it, cause people just go by, oh, they like, and we've heard it. Remember, we've been in chats where we heard this, so it's not like I'm making up what I'm saying. Okay, so it's like we've been there. I've heard it with my two ears. I'll be like, what the hell? And it's like. Yeah, I just think ignorant on that level. I'm just like, you can't be that ignorant. Come on now, like, I mean, but I think because like because my gran came over here specifically to work for England, but they did bring them over on ships over here to work, and then when they came here, don't be buying nothing, Okay. Right. And then when they got here, they was getting levels of racism. I've literally got to watch a program, which I'm bracing myself. I'm bracing myself too much because I'm just like, nah. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I think we're gonna have to do maybe, I don't know, another stream on this one, or I don't know, but um, we'll see. We'll see if I gather more information about where the ship has been in the Netherlands. Cause I think it was last year there was some mention of a ship, operation ship, and everybody was against it because it's right where I live. I'm like, what? Nah. So
Mm,
maybe it was that one. But I never looked into it. But now that we're talking about it, I'm gonna see what it was.
mm,
Because I want to know where it has been. Because yeah,
mm.
wait, last year I posted it, or was it this year? I think this year I posted it. I, I did a post on my community board about that ship, right?
Yeah, I think he did. I think it was either you or Alex, one out of the two. I don't know which one it was exactly, but I think it's.
Yeah, I did it, and then I think because I remember Phil um he made a comment because I was just showing what was it again? I didn't even think of a prison ship. when I posted it. Um,
Mm,
and then because I was in my mind it was a cruise ship, and then Phil
mm,
made a comment like he said it looks like a prison ship. I'm like, what? I need
mm,
to find the post. Yeah. Hmm.
mm, because at one time they were saying here is gonna have a prison ship on near the Thames. They said that that's coming here. They said they have one for here. I know that much.
Mm,
Um, but because I got to do Rico and Alex, I got to get them two together.
mm,
So yeah, but something definitely, yeah. This is the basis of it. That's why I'm looking into it. So anything that comes up to do with them. Some things I put up and some things I just read and I keep to myself because I just think it's good information to know what's going on. And yeah, I mean that's the best way. That's the best way to deal with this type of information because people will disagree with what we're saying,
mm-hmm.
right? Right, you know, like they'll say, "Oh yeah, because like whatever, because of who you are," but it's not because of that. It's just the human element of it, you know.
I
I
know, but
think
it's
people.
okay. It's okay if people disagree. Not everybody thinks the same, so I don't mind. You know, if everybody can
Mm,
have their own opinion, but at least
mm,
at least I feel like people need to consider other people too. It's not
mhm,
about
mhm,
us. It's not about
mm,
being selfish all the time. Just consider other people too, especially when it involves children.
mm,
Because you gotta remember, like the child is being uprooted or whatever, because it's being taken away from the school, the
yeah,
environment. You know what I mean? It's gotta adapt to a whole new climate, even everything, language. So
exactly.
yeah, so it can traumatize, especially children. Like us adults, we manage, but for the children, So
Yeah,
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 especially if they've seen things happen in front of them, you know.
mm,
So yeah, it's we gotta consider that too. It's not all about they're trying to take our jobs. Nah,
mm,
yeah, no. So
mm,
yeah. But sis,
yeah,
thank you for having me. I think we covered a lot in a small amount of time. Um,
yeah.
we next time we'll have more and maybe more other people on your panel to discuss
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And as you can hear, right, the young ones
yeah,
chatting with
that's
me as well. So yeah,
all right.
okay. Yeah,
Uh,
that's all right.
so
Yeah,
much
thank you
love.
for coming. Yeah,
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 no,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So.
Okay. So
uh, Much
yeah.
love to
So
everybody who's going to watch this video. Give it a thumbs up and let us know what you think. Much love.
yes, yes, definitely. And the comments as well is all needed too. And with that said, I will see you on the next live. Take care. Bye. Let me tap out. Hold on. Is it not tapping out? Hold on a minute.